Everybody, I am so late. I am so sorry. Oh boy. Hopefully everyone's gonna hop on quick and we'll get going. I'm gonna keep my little narrative short so we're not talking for half an hour here. Hey, Valerie, hi. Here we go. Everyone's coming on in. Dawn. My God, I can't read. I should put my glasses on, huh? Hi. Hey, Valerie. Hey, Gail. Pam. No, I'm just late. I got to stop scheduling readings for after work on Friday because they go long and then I'm upstairs trying to get ready and let the dogs out and run back down, and it's so much fun. Oh my God. Actually, it is fun. I shouldn't, I'm not being sarcastic. It's just, it's how I sit down and it's like, ooh, it's getting cold out there again. We're having a very mild, wonderful mild time. I want to say started Sunday. It's like been in the 40s, 50s during the day, which is really feels warm for us. I think we're getting some weather in, some rain or something. It's still pretty nice. I'm not complaining. All right. So, shuffle them up. That helps. Hey, Claire. Hi, Karen. Sam and Janice. Oh my God. Hey, Gina. Shelly, Lori. Hi. Bonjour. Bonjour, mommy. All right, Christine. Hi, everybody. Okay. So, this is our last Friday Night Live of 2019. We have 2020 bearing down on us very hard. I posted something earlier, and one of my guy friends there wrote, 2020 is really going to suck, huh? I wrote back, not necessarily. Not necessarily. If you are behaving ethically, if you're behaving authentically, if you're putting in your best effort and it should be fine. Everyone should be fine for 2020. 2020 is going to play out on the world stage. So this is more or less, if you're doing everything right and your conscience is clear and you go to bed with a and cheating people or hurting anyone or staying in a relationship where you're being abused or you're abusing, that's not going to end well. That's just not going to end well at all. Nor should it, right? If you're doing everything right, you can just sit back with some popcorn and keep a good distance and watch the shit show, because we are going to watch this play out on the world stage. Institutions and industries that are behaving unethically, that are behaving without integrity, and that includes education, it includes finance, pharmaceutical and medicine, and you name it. All of that. Spirituality, watching a lot of spiritual people, what I call spiritual extortionists, being exposed. Watching what I just posted something again. I guess a bunch of parishioners just got really angry. Someone bought a Hummer with the money, and they beat the crap out of the pastor and demanded their money back, their tithing back. So we're seeing, that's what I'm talking about, little acts of rebellion, which will lead to bigger, and they get press and they get coverage, and we share those things, and that's the good thing about social media. We share them, and they should be ashamed. People who rape people who abuse animals should be ashamed. You should be publicly humiliated. In fact, Facebook has become like the public stocks, and you should be. I have no problem with that. Again, that's Saturn. Do the right thing or be exposed. And Pluto is right there going, yeah, I'm going to expose you, baby, because that's what Pluto does. And then I'm going to destroy you so you don't do it again. No one does it again. Pluto's like a little wrecking ball. Okay, so no, I don't think it's going to suck. But I am going to encourage you all one thing, and I've been saying it in my readings, I've been saying it a lot. Stop writing your narratives. Bridges we cross before we get to them often aren't there. You're making me crazy in these readings because you're taking off. I don't care if it's a $5 quick reading or it's a $30 reading or however the hell long I'm in there with you. When I say something and you respond with a 20-minute narrative on how this is going to go, I'm like, that's a lot of information. Considering you haven't taken the job yet, considering you've only been dating him for, I don't know, a month now, that's a lot of narrative as something that's really brand new. And just because you're dreading, and this is coming from Elsa. Elsa's, and if you haven't signed up for her blog, please do. Elsa.com. Sign up. She does a daily writing and pretty much a daily blog, actually, where she has some very talented writers. And I've learned so much about astrology. You can go on her webpage, again, Elsa.com, and she has everything by house, by topics. You can look up Saturn, you can look up 8th house, you can look up rising signs, and just pull all these blogs. She's the longest blogging astrologer in the country. So this is an immense body of work that's very easily accessed. And, I love her writing. She's just a wonderful writer. So, but she said today something about, you open a door and you're kind of dreading the journey. This is going to be hard, whether it's 4 years of college and you're just starting off in your freshman year, or whatever it is you're doing. It's you look at it and you just look at the hard work, or you look at the tedium, and that's not necessarily true. How do you know that you're not going to be in it 5 minutes and not meet somebody wonderful? How do you know you're not going to meet your next best friend there? You don't know that. So my point is, yeah, be aware and know what you're doing, but stop living in the future. I have to be living in the past. I have to be living in the future. Stop that. Live in the now, right now. How are things right now? You have a roof over your head? You eating? Belly full? You warm? Got a car to drive? Got a job? Start. This is. I'll tell you, the end of 2020 is a good time. 2019. Wow. You're living in the future, huh? The end of 2019 is a good time to start counting some blessings. Be a little bit of Pollyanna, and really think of how far you've come. I had to do that. I just sit there and really because I was thinking of the mountain of work. I didn't write the book I wanted to write this year, and blah 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 blah. My apartment, is a mess. I didn't get the remodeling all done that I wanted done, and yada yada yada. And then I started thinking about all the stuff I did get done this year. And I did a lot. Turns out I did a lot of stuff this year. And China and I in the shop together did a lot of stuff this year. So it's pretty exciting, actually. Anyway, what else do I want to add to that? I want to say a couple more things and then get going on this reading. The newsletter, no. Readings, no. I had something I wanted to say, damn it. I'm going to look at comments really quickly, and I think we're going to get going. Hi, Faith. Hey, everybody. Wow, everyone's here. Cole, Rosemary. Hi, guys. Bree. Okay, Bree, that's an interesting question, and Janice, too. The anxiety and astrological events impacting us, bringing up deep past issues. Yes, last week, I don't know if you felt it this week, last week hit me really hard. I think it was Wednesday that I spiraled, and I'm not one to do that. Depression, I'm not really that person. And I just started going over everything, every bad decision I made in my whole life, which turned into just an absolute, what I call the La Brea tar pits, where you just can't get out of the mud, you can't get out of the tar, and you just keep digging your way deeper in. I can't even talk. Just keep digging your way deeper in, and it just begets more misery after more misery. Yeah, there's been some of that, Brie. Yes, you gotta again blow past it. A little bit Pollyanna. Think of everything that you have done right. Think of your future plans. You gotta power through. Not an easy energy. Hey, Sam, Tina, Kimberly. Wow. All right. I know I have something else I want to talk about. I'm stalling here. And I am not remembering what I wanted to bring up. 2020. It's from the past. Nope, I really don't know what I was going to say. Okay, let's forget about it then. Mustn't be true, as my mother would say. Let's look at this reading. So the past year reflection. I thought, oh, that looks interesting. It's a 6-card spread. I did post it in the comments first thing. So the first card is a card to represent me in this past year. The second is a soul lesson I was learning this past year. Third card is how this soul lesson changed me. Fourth card is something that held me back this past year. Fifth card is something that I ignored this past year. And the sixth card is something I should be proud of. All right, we're going to do it by astrological sign. And before I start, I'll tell you that we do have readings tomorrow. We have our fair going on. Karn, Red Goddess, and Sherry will be here. And you're welcome to do a walk-in or call for an appointment. And they're here 12 to 6. Readings are $30 for 30 minutes. And we do try to keep those cash. Okay. You really would think I would like at least rehearse these once to see how they flow. I wasn't thrilled with last week's readings, even though I got good reviews back. I wasn't thrilled. Okay, a card to represent me this past year. For Aries, the Hermit reversed. Okay, Aries. So the Hermit reversed. I'm going to try not to look down the whole time. I realize I do that an awful lot. You look at the top of my head. The Hermit reversed is literally choosing to be alone, pushing people away. I got to do this by myself. You can't help me with this. I got to go alone with this one. In fact, sometimes, like they say, too many hands spoil the soup. Like, get out of my kitchen. That would be the theme. Get out of my kitchen. Yeah, you're making me crazy. Okay, that represents Aries this past year. The need to do things by themselves. Autonomy. You can't help me. A soul lesson I was learning this past year. That would be the Page of Wands. Page of Wands is news of new energy, new creativity. Can be a card of friendship, usually work related more than emotional or romantic. So I would say the soul lesson was learning how to let energy in, let creativity flow, finding new ways of inspiration. Is that with the Page of Wands, a good word for that is inspiration. And sometimes inspiration comes in funny ways, How this soul lesson changed me. And that's the 8 of Cups reversed. I'm going to say Aries is usually very quick on the trigger. You guys, you do this. Aries is, it didn't work 10 seconds ago, so I guess it's not working. Okay, let's give it a minute, shall we? The 8 of Cups reversed is just patience. Don't be so quick to walk out the door. Don't be so quick to slam that door behind you. Don't be careful what doors you close on people, because you might want them open at some point in the future. So I'm going to say that's the soul lesson for Aries, was to not be quite so quick to end things. A little patience, a little time. It's usually not something that comes easily for Aries. And I'm going to say it didn't come easy this year, but it's a lesson you learned. Bite your tongue sometimes. But something that held me back this past year. Aries, again, the 7 of Swords reversed. Well, that's funny. 7 of Swords reversed. 7 of Swords upright is take what you can and save yourself. And again, they help me back, it's reversed. So how do I want to phrase, I'm so sorry, I'm trying, how do I want to phrase this? For Aries, I would say probably coming too late to the idea that Aries is so great at helping other people. It's so great at sticking up for other people. They're the knight on the white horse. The male and the female Aries is all about hates bullies. Again, Aries, cops, soldiers, first responders. I say this over and over again. So here I'm seeing Aries not being willing to save themselves, and again, not coming quick enough. This represent me this past year. This Hermit reversed. It took too long to get there, Aries, to realize that you can't always save the collective. Just you got to take care of yourself. And I see it, and I have a lot of Aries friends, and they're exhausted all the time, and they're so busy fixing other people, and it's like, hang on, you know what? Stop fixing other people. Just pay attention to what's going on in your home. Right? So I'm gonna say for Aries, what held them back this year is just maybe it took a little too long to get to the autonomous part where it's, you know what, I'm gonna take care of myself. Like they say on the airplanes, you put the air mask on your own face, then you take care of your kids. It's you first. And that is such a hard lesson for Aries because they don't want to put themselves first. They really don't. Aries can be they blurt things out, or they can be, me, pick me. They're right there to volunteer. But actually, they're the most selfless people. They really just want everyone to be happy and everyone taken care of, and yeah, and a lot of times they put themselves last. And so I'm going to say this year, Aries learned to put themselves, their needs, their need for quiet, their need to have autonomy first, okay, before the comfort of others. Something that Aries ignored this past year, and that is the Emperor. And I'm going to say the Emperor is a business card. It's the patriarchy. And that now is the new awful four-letter word is patriarchy. And I don't agree with that necessarily. I'm a feminist who does actually love men. And I've learned in business to watch how men do business because they do business very well. There's things we can learn from the patriarchy. How they manage to move forward so quickly. How they manage to stay in control for so long. And the truth is, and this is again the Emperor upright, so this is a responsible, this is business being ethical, this is business doing the right thing. I'm going to say possibly Aries, you might have ignored what seems to be like more of a male ideal of again, it's all about autonomy. It's all about leadership. It's all about, you make the rules, and there may have been times, Aries, that you forgot about that you've got a lot of power. You might have forgotten that from time to time. And I say that because next to that card, there's something I should be proud of is strength reversed. And that's working through your weaknesses. Strength reversed is not feeling well, is not, and I can tell you honestly, A lot of Aries were sick this year. A lot of Aries, I know a lot of Aries had a lot of skeletal, a lot of muscle pain, a lot of serious pain issues. Serious pain issues. They powered through. And sometimes just getting out of bed is an act of courage, an act of bravery. So for all you Aries that are dealing with chronic pain, chronic illness, chronic problems, you know, be proud of the fact that here you are standing up. Here you are at the end of 2019. It didn't get the best of you. And I remember what I wanted to say earlier when my friend had said 2020 is going to suck. There is one other thing to be aware of. If you work in an industry that is not ethical, doesn't have integrity, you might want to start looking at other jobs, because we're going to see the takedown of more industries. We're going to see the takedown of more businesses, including spiritual shops. You know, they're popping up really fast. I made a post about it because all of a sudden it's a moneymaker. Everybody wants crystals. Everyone wants stones. Everyone wants incense. So yeah, you know, they're popping up everywhere. And they're closing fast too, because if there's no education or background behind it, what are you going to talk about with stones? Here, buy that stone. It's pretty. It's purple. Here, I hear everyone likes the purple stones. What do you got? You know? So, but yeah, you know, looking at how men do business, how they value their time, and I'm speaking in generalities, but in generalities, this is why it's worked out so well for them. They value their time. And by value, I mean they put a cash value on it. And I'm going to say that might be part of what Aries ignored this year is the fact that time has a value. Did you waste time, Aries? Where did you waste time? Where did you not think about the hours that weren't translating into dollars or into a learning experience that you could put on a resume? All right. So, I mean, there's a difference between doing research and just reading. There's not the same thing. Okay. Taurus. Hideous cards. Okay, Taurus. Okay. Right. Cards represent Taurus this past year. Queen of Pentacles reversed. Okay, Queen of Pentacles reversed is either a woman who is not getting paid enough money or who has put too much emphasis on money. Neither is good. Okay. Now Taurus rules the second house of money, assets, and money and assets, I should say. Money earned and assets. So, Taurus, are you happy with how 2019 ended up for you financially? Looks like maybe you weren't. Let's talk more about that. A soul lesson that Taurus was learning this past year. The Tower reversed. Okay, Taurus, what did you tear down? The Tower upright is chaotic change coming at you, but the Tower reversed. The Tower upright. The Tower reversed is you bringing up the chaotic change. It's you making those changes happen. Like I always say, it's the difference between being served divorce papers or serving divorce papers. Okay, so what did you put an end to, Taurus, chaotically? Like you burn that sucker to the ground. What did you do? That was a lesson. You have the ability to do that, or that you have the ability to do that. That was your lesson. Think of Daenerys on that dragon, burning down the whole town. Yeah, being brought to the point where it's all got to go. How this soul lesson changed me, well, the Four of Wands reversed. Unhappy with living arrangements, unhappy in your environment. Okay. I want to try to pull forward here something that held me back this past year, and that was the Page of Swords. Now, the Page of Swords can be is news coming in, and it can be good or bad news. It's usually a big announcement. It's usually something big. It can be news of an illness. It can be news of a problem. The pages bring in news. And it could be, Taurus, that you were so busy waiting for news or waiting for to hear of something happening that maybe, again, you might have stayed in place longer than you wanted to. Also, you might have gotten news that caused you to behave provocatively or prematurely on something. Let me tell you something, Taurus. They say even a Scorpio will back down from an angry Taurus. Your tempers are legendary. They're not common. Most Tauruses don't walk around like, breaking things like a bull in the china shop. But once a Taurus is really there, again, the Tower reversed is very apropos. If you've ever watched a charging, angry bull go at somebody, that's, yeah. Something that you ignored this past year, and that's the Five of Wands reversed. And that's the reluctance to get into a conflict, the reluctance to, I'm going to guess you maybe stalled too long in an unhappy situation. You waited too long before you blew. And because you didn't act on it, because you waited, by the time it finally did, you were so angry, maybe you did something that then you couldn't take it back. You either said something or you did something that it's done. You can't move backwards from that. However, Taurus, something I should be proud of, the Queen of Swords. And I'm going to say, I don't use this word because I don't use the word bitch for women, because women are not dogs, and that's what a bitch is, a female dog. But many readers call the Queen of Swords the bitch card. In this case, the Queen of Swords upright is an honest bitch. She's a bitch with integrity. She speaks her truth. You may not like it. She's spitting truth you don't like, but she is saying it. So I'm going to say at the end of the day, Taurus, whatever the hell you waited for, whatever pushed you to the point of no return, you know what? It's done now, isn't it? It's done now. And you can look back on it. And I really, the picture in my mind really is that Game of Thrones moment where it's just, she's on that dragon and just levels with fire. The tower reversed. You're bringing that chaos. You're bringing the fire. And I think it had a lot to do with home. It could have been career. I'm looking at both. You might have made changes that just affected everything. But if you weren't feeling like you were getting paid enough, if you weren't thinking that you were being, because that's something a Taurus would worry about. You weren't being valued. You weren't being, they'll think of you differently now, won't they? So it almost makes me think of that expression, anyone who mistakes my kindness for weakness will find the kindness is not what you're going to remember me for. And that's this. Anyone who thought that you were passive, Taurus, anyone who thought that you were just going to let it slide, or that they were just going to pull one over you again. Sometimes Taurus is so stoic and that it can be mistaken for passivity. It's not. It's just stoicism. They don't complain. They don't bitch. Most Tauruses really don't complain. I remember my stepmother, who was a Taurus, peeking in on her in the office when she was crying, trying to pay the bills with all of us kids there in Oklahoma. But boy, she wouldn't let you see it. You never knew that she was scared to death that she wasn't going to pay the bills with their paychecks from my father. So anyway. All right, Gemini. Card to represent you this past year, and that is the Three of Pentacles reversed. Gemini. Did you leave school prematurely? Gemini, are you not working in your field? Did you leave your field of expertise to do something different? That's how I usually see that the Three of Pentacles is reversed, is that you're not working in the field or your education base. A soul lesson that you learned this year? Death card. Death card. Now, it could be actual physical death, soul lesson. People do die. I'm not one of those readers who says, oh, the death card is just about metaphysical death. It's metamorphically speaking. Like, no, death can actually mean freaking death. People die. People overdose. They'll commit suicide. Cancer is a bitch. People die. But it was about endings, Gemini. And how did this soul lesson change you? Temperance, balance, priorities. Yeah. That card is one of pouring from one cup to the other, balance. Got your priorities in order. Okay. Something that held you back this past year, the Four of Cups. You didn't know what you, the Four of Cups. Not knowing what you want. Literally, this is the Four of Cups. It's what do I want? I got all my cups here, and I'm holding a cup, and someone put something in my cup. I don't know what I want. Oh, just give me anything. I'll drink anything. How happy are we usually when we say that? When we don't take control? How happy are we when we say to somebody, oh, just bring me anything? Oh, just get anything. It's usually a sign that we really are preoccupied with something else, or we really just don't give a crap about ourselves anymore. So not knowing what you want is, in a way, not respecting yourself. Putting this in someone else's hands. Okay, I'll just bring you whatever. Something that you ignored this past year, and that's the Knight of Swords. Okay, so if the Page of Swords brings in news of problems, news of change, news of sickness, the Knight actually brings in those things. Page comes ahead, hey, the Knight's coming, bringing bad news. And then the Knight comes in and says, I got bad news. So what bad news came in that you ignored? What did you not pay attention to? What was, someone told you something was going to happen, what did you ignore? And something you should be proud of. The Sun reversed. Now you'd wonder, how can I be proud of the Sun reversed? Because the Sun reversed is failure. The Sun reversed is things not going the way you want them to go. Disappointment. Now, Andrew Neblett, where I see the Sun is, and every reader's different, where I see the Sun as being a very positive card, one of the two most positive cards, Andrew sees it as being a negative card. Because he says the sun will kill you. The sun gives you cancer. The sun shining on you dehydrates you. People die in the desert from heat stroke. Too much sun, is damaging. That's not how I read it. The Knight of Swords, something you ignored and something you're proud of. And the only way I can make sense of these two cards is sometimes you've got to let somebody fail. You know, especially an addict, they have to hit rock bottom. What do we talk about enabling? You know, I'm not saying to say so much that the Gemini failed, but maybe Gemini, you let somebody else fail. Did you let someone hit rock bottom? Did you step back and let them fail? And unfortunately, some people, they don't learn, they don't stop until they hit that awful place where there's no one giving them a hand, where there's no one making sure that they eat, where there's no one making sure they got a roof. And that's when they change. And I'll tell you, that's like one of the hardest things to do, is to step back and say, I got this bad news, doing something you shouldn't be doing, and I'm not going to support it. Then fail. I think you're making a terrible mistake. I'm looking at these cards, the Death card, the Knight of Swords. You know, that looks like you may have had to deal with something like that, something really big, and maintaining your own balance, your own temperance, your own serenity when there's chaos around you and you know what you want, not knowing how to handle it, it held you back. Maybe you gave too many chances. Maybe you were the one trying to fill up the cups. A lot of times that's what we do. We try to cuss it. We try to, wheedle and bargain. If you just stop doing this, I'll give you that. And no, it doesn't work. It doesn't work with some people. So Gemini, this is harsh. But again, if you walk out of 2019 with your balance, with a sense of balance, you're okay. If you're good with how this ended, if you're good with how you've left this, that's all that matters. Tough situation. Let's see what comments we got here going on. Hey, Susan. Okay. Hey, Aileen. Hey, Jackie. Okay, Aries. Linda. Okay, well, everyone's here. Okay. All right, so we're on to 4th house, which is Cancer. Okay, Cancer. Oh, card to represent me this past year, the wheel reversed. Aye. And I always think of the wheel reversed. Yes, the wheel reversed is bad luck. Wheel upright is good luck, bad luck. That's a simplistic view of the wheel. The wheel always turns, good luck, bad luck. The tides are always changing. But I also look at the wheel as like the hamster wheel. Cancer, were you on a hamster wheel this year? You're running on a wheel, just aimlessly. A soul lesson that you were learning this year, the Ace of Pentacles reversed. Doing the same thing, the same job. Were the rewards there for that? Did you do a tedious job and did you not get a bonus you thought or a raise you thought? Were you hanging on to a job that at the end of the day it's not taking you anywhere? No growth opportunities? How this soul lesson changed me? The Two of Swords, rock in a hard place. Now listen, it's a great thing, easy to say, oh, just quit that job. Well, not when you've got a mortgage or kids or college, or insurance. A lot of people just work for their insurance. It's a husband and wife's working. The husband's working to pay the bills. Wife's working to pay for the health insurance. There's no health crisis in this country, I know damn well there is. I know lots of you that work jobs that you hate just to make sure that you and your husband and family have health insurance. And very little bit of pay after that is taken care of. So that rock in a hard place. You know, you really got pushed to that point. Something that held you back this year? The King of Pentacles. Okay, I'm going to say possibly feeling like you couldn't get off that hamster wheel. Somebody may be encouraging you or telling you, no, you can't. You know, unfortunately, I've got a few women who are working after their husband's retired. Their husband's retired, but they're like, you can't quit. But it's the King of Pentacles upright. And I'm going to say again, focus on career, focus on work. Might have held you back from other things you'd rather be doing. Because there's a lot about work here, a lot about not feeling like you were compensated correctly, a lot of hyper focus on money, work, security. Security is a good one for King of Pentacles. And something you ignored this past year, and that is the Seven of Pentacles. And I have my dear friend Kim, who said it, you know, working 70 hours a week to pay for a house that you never get to enjoy. So did you get to enjoy the fruits of your labor, Cancer? Was it worth it? And only you can answer that question, okay? Because this is all very earth-based stuff. Again, having assets, having a home, having a nicer place to live. But did you get to enjoy those things? Or when you had a day off where you were so tired, all you could do is sleep half the day. And yeah, that soul lesson really is rock and hard place. Something to be proud of, the High Priestess. And that's really cool in that we're looking at Pentacle, 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 rock in a hard place, wheel reversed, work, 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 grind, 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 and then the High Priestess. So, you know, Cancer, you're a water sign, you didn't lose your soul. You didn't sell your soul for this stuff. They may have, your body may have taken a toll. You may have physically been someplace that you didn't want to be, doing a job maybe you don't love, for the pay, for the money. Donna Summer's song, she works hard for the money, playing through my head right now. But Cancer, it looks as though you stayed connected, or you found time to stay connected. And if all you did was read a few books or study your tarot or got it under the full moon, you kept your finger, you know, in that pie, which is good. The toehold. But it really does look, Cancer, like, you know, it was a grind this year for you, a fiscal grind, not physical, but fiscal, money, and working hard, not enough time to enjoy the fruits of your labors. All right. But I'm going to say too, one more thing with this High Priestess here in the 6th position. It's also, there's something to be said for being the ant and not the grasshopper. You know, the story of the ant and the grasshopper, and the ant work through the beautiful summer days, and why aren't you enjoying the grasshopper? Why aren't you enjoying this beautiful sun? And why aren't you enjoying this warm days? And the ant's like, nope, gotta work. Gotta put food away, gotta prepare. Winter's coming. Winter is coming. The ant's like, the grasshopper's like, you're crazy. Crazy, it's beautiful, all the time in the world. The ant's like, nope, gotta work. And then winter came. And while the grasshopper froze, the ant was comfortable, and I'm going to say, so there's something to say for the wisdom of knowing that maybe this is the time to make money. and trying to find that balance, which this year maybe was a hard one to find for you, Cancer. Okay. All right, Leo, you're up. Okay, Leo. Leo's been doing pretty good here, too. Card to represent Leo this past year is the Six of Swords, and that is advancement, that is forward motion, that is success, that is power. That's one of the sword cards, actually a good sword card. It's a movement card. Soul lesson that was learning this past year, the Ten of Cups, the importance of being happy in your home. The importance of taking control and responsibility to be happy in your home. No one else is going to make you happy. No one can make you anything. That's something I learned years ago. You know, I want to say many of you probably know what it's like to have someone that has a crazy mad crush on you, someone who's too in love with you, and they're a great person, good person, kind person. Like there's no reason, you know, that you shouldn't want this person in your life, but you don't feel it. You don't feel it. You don't feel that. You just can't. You might have tried, go out, date, talk, and you really enjoy their company and they're really sweet, but you just can't. You can't. You know why? Because nobody can make you feel anything. No one can make you feel that feeling. It's chemical. It's something that it comes from within, and you're responsible for that. And it's wrong to string somebody along if you don't feel it. That's just mean. And so the idea of being responsible for your own happiness, taking responsibility for that, love that. How this soul lesson changed me. The devil. Dark side. So you weren't afraid to go there, to indulge yourself. Interesting. Because the devil is indulgence. Something that held me back this past year, the Page of Cups. Could be love, could be child, could be the children. How could a child held you back? Well, ask anybody who's contemplating a divorce when they've got young kids. That's how children definitely make it very hard. But also love. Advancing, happiness at home, and yet I see the devil. And something that I ignored this past year, so being held back and then being ignored, the Ace of Wands reversed. Creative energy that wasn't flowing. Lack of opportunity. Lack of positivity, lack of friendship. Hostile environment. And something to be proud of, the Six of Pentacles, which is receiving help from others, allowing others to help you. And that's hard for, I gotta tell you, of all the signs, that is hard for Leo. Leo likes to give the help. Leo likes to pay the bill. Leo's the one grabbing the receipt, grabbing the restaurant tab and saying, no, this is on me, this is on me. Leo really doesn't like to be taken care of. They prefer to do the taking care. So the fact that you allowed someone to help you, Leo, that you allowed someone to step in and say, I got this for you. Why don't you put down your burden for a minute and let me help you out. I don't care if it was parents, I don't care if it was significant other, I don't care if it was someone in your family, friends. The fact that you let people help you through a tough time when, again, creative energy wasn't flowing, while you were figuring out your autonomy, while you were trying to figure out how responsible you are for your own happiness. And you know, the devil, the soul lesson, the devil, that can be a divorce card. That can be toxic, recognizing toxicity in somebody else that you love. Recognizing someone you love is toxic. That's something that held you back, the love, the Page of Cups, feelings of love. But once you realize you're responsible for your own happiness, you start looking at people who are not on board, with Team Leo. And you start getting really resentful of people who, while you're helping and you're trying to move forward and you're trying to, people who put their foot out and try to trip you up, people who aren't supportive. So, but it looks like things got difficult before you got to that point. And to the point that you did say, I need some help here. Okay, could have been therapy too. Could have been a loan that you take out to get out of a bad situation. But the fact is, you should be proud of the fact that you're able to ask for that, because you're going to pay it back. You're always going to pay it forward. All right. So we have Virgo. All right, Virgo. Wow. Okay. Hang on. Hang on. All right. Okay, Virgo. Card to represent me this past year, the Queen of Wands. Queen of Wands is a friendly working woman, someone who is respected at work, someone who's very creative, works in a creative field. Someone who's always there to lead the committee, who's always there to lend a hand. Love the Queen of Wands. She's a good friend, a good mentor. She's the kind of person you want on your team leader. Soul lesson learning this past year, that's the Empress. And that's autonomy too, the Empress. I'm going to say the soul lesson was stepping into your power in career, in business, learning how far you can go, climbing to the top of your profession, sitting in a power of in a position of management. That's the Empress. That's feminine autonomy. Feminine autonomy. Leading into this next card, which is how this soul lesson changed me. And that's the Eight of Swords. The Eight of Swords is being bound to something, blindly bound. So while you're recognizing your autonomy and recognizing that you're being respected at work, and recognizing that you're being promoted, it also showed where you're bound. And what held you back this past year? The world reversed. And I'm not sure if it's a held back situation, but the reluctance to make sweeping change, everything had to change. The world reverses, everything upside down, everything changing, shaken out. Literally, so when you dump your purse upside down and you shake it out to find your keys or find something you can't, literally, that's the world reversed. Someone just taking your whole world and just giving it a shake, and it all just falls apart. Okay? And that fear of having that happen and being bound to something that, something that you ignored this past year. And this is painful, but it's the moon. And the moon is things that are hidden. The moon is your intuition. The moon is your gut instincts. The moon is that voice that tells you it's not right. This isn't right. This moon that tells you you're bound to something that's not making you happy. Time for change. And looks like, Virgo, you might have ignored that voice for part of this year. And that part of it is sad, because you're looking at someone who, you know, listen, you don't get everything in this lifetime. You don't get everything in this life. And you certainly don't get everything at the same time. And sometimes you get these wonderful opportunities that come, and it's the timing couldn't be worse. It's like giving this huge promotion when you're trying to get pregnant and have a baby. You know, the last thing you'll do is be traveling 28 days out of the month, right? When you're trying to make a baby happen. Or I could go on and on, you know. You're having problems in your marriage, and again, someone gets a transfer opportunity. It's like, oh, are you kidding me? But something to be proud of, and that's the Magician. That's mastery. The fact that at the end of the day, for all of this, you know, you walked out of it the master. You pulled it off. You pulled the trick off, like Houdini. You know, how the hell did you get out of that? How did you get out of those binds? How did you get out of that crazy that what was that one he was famous for, where they put him in chains and they handcuffs and they throw him in the locker and they put him in the water, and that's the Magician. How'd you do that? Well, you don't have to give all your tricks away, Virgo, but you did it. You did it. You got through it. Shaken and bound, and yeah. All right. Good for you. Let's see what's going on here. Hey, Dee. Hey, Kimberly. Boy. Okay. Caitlin. Wayne. Okay. Okay. Moving up to Libra. And I want to repeat again what I'd forgotten when I was trying to remember what I wanted to say. If you work in an industry or a business that's not ethical, that's not got integrity, if it's media, industries and institutions, really and truly watch for signs of failure. Make sure that business is sound, because it's things are just being pulled down. Okay, you know, yes, and one more thing I wanted to say too. Every single day, someone comes in my shop to talk about being an empath. They're an empath. They found out they're an empath. Talking about being an empath. I'm a super empath. I'm empathic, and oh, that's okay. And to the point, it can be debilitating. I get that. We talk about that. I write about that. It shouldn't be, by the way. It shouldn't be debilitating. If your empathy is debilitating you, I'll send you some newsletters and things to read, because it shouldn't be debilitating you. But what really bothers me is you're so empathic, but then I find out that, oh, everyone takes advantage of me. Oh, every time I get in a relationship, it goes bad. Oh, every time, you know, oh, this and that is happening, and oh, they're taking advantage of me again, and oh, you know, I'm not talking to anyone in my family because they're all horrible to me. And it's like, wow. So you're an empath, and yet you just can't get out of your own way? Look, empathy is a self-protective device, intuitive device that, you know, so I don't want to hear, I knew I shouldn't loan that person that money. Oh, I knew it happens every day. Oh, it shouldn't happen every time. It should happen once. And then you learn your lesson. Start tapping into that energy of someone. You're so empathic, then know what someone's intentions are. Because going into 2020, and we were talking about this back in 2008, that we need to use our abilities, our intuitive abilities and our empathic abilities to know, not in 6 weeks or 6 days or 6 hours, 6 minutes, 6 seconds when you meet somebody, good or bad, good intentions, bad intentions, ethical, not ethical, integrity, no integrity, like that. Practice, work on that. I don't care if you're going to watch crime shows or however you're going to do it. Start looking back on the past. When you meet people, stop. And it's not about judging people. It's about protecting yourself. You know, I had someone talking about terrible experience with their husband and then trying to send love and light and send love and light. And I try, like, if someone is trying to destroy you, maybe love and light's not the way to go. Not remove yourself. Okay, remove yourself. Self-protect. You know, do what you got to do to make sure you and the kids are safe. And so many people don't get involved, don't get upset, don't move until the kids are in danger. You know, and it's like before that, something should be done. But again, use that empathy. Tap the energy, tap the aura, tap, and then know when the hell to say, you know what? I'm going to love and light you from way over there. Okay? Nice to know you. Nice to meet you. I got to get out of here. Oh, would you look at the time? That's what I do. All right? So, I'm not yelling, I'm not judging. I'm just saying, please. There's a reason for that, and it's really meant to protect us and protect our families. Don't let them in. Ward your home and don't let them in. Don't give people the benefit of the doubt if you have doubt. Okay, Libra. Card to represent me this past year. Justice. Love that. Things going your way. Contracts being signed. Legal issues being resolved. Yeah. And I always think of justice, really, I do think of contracts. I think of legal contracts, signing deeds, work contracts, good stuff. Soul lesson you were learning this past year, five of swords. You know, learn how to stand up for yourself, basically. Learn when it is time to I'll fight you. I'm going to fight you for this. I'm willing to put up a fight for this to happen. Learned what's worth fighting for. How did this soul lesson change me? Judgment reversed. Ooh. Judgment reversed. Well, I'm going to say what I just said. You learned that some people present really well. And something that I was just reflecting on, one of the biggest mistakes I've made in my life, and if there was one piece of advice I could give people, and I'm actually working on a book idea with 2 other businesswomen who are in the spiritual business, and actually 1 realtor, but women business owners. It's why I've been thinking so much about the patriarchy and men in business and why they succeed. But one thing that you must never ever do is sign anything that you haven't read thoroughly or had a lawyer or a financial advisor or your accountant look at. And one of the biggest mistakes I made in my life was signing something that I didn't thoroughly read. And here's the deal, going back to what I just said about using your empathy to gauge somebody, because when someone is going to put something in front of you and try to get the best of you, it's always when there's no time to read it. Just trust me. You can trust me, right? Just sign your name. Oh, hey, listen, we had to do a rewrite on something. There was a typo. Can you just sign this over again? Yeah, just sign it really quick. You don't have to read it. It's the same thing. Just no. I don't care who's giving it to you. Never sign your name to something you haven't read thoroughly. Huge mistake. Cost me a lot. All right? And I'm going to say, Libra, you might have learned that this time around too. Someone might have tried to pull a fast one on you. Someone may have, you know, and you had to go to bat for it. Something very unfair. Someone maybe they judged you unfairly. Maybe you were accused of something you didn't do. There's a soul lesson for you, being accused of something you didn't do and having to fight to clear your name. It's very Libra, by the way. Something that held you back this year, Libra. That's the Nine of Cups reversed. I'm going to say possibly wasting your time with somebody who was faking emotion. You know, we see it in the spiritual community too, because people learn these catchphrases like I'm an empath, or, you know, karma, you know, or soulmate, or twin flame. They learn all the words, and then they kind of mix them up, and you think that they know what they're talking about because they're using the jargon. And in fact, there's no soul, there's no education behind it. They're just literally parroting words. And you may have wasted time with somebody that I'm not saying spiritual, it could be in any career, you know, that you were in, any aspect, or it be in relationship. Someone who seemed to talk the talk, but couldn't walk the walk. Something you ignored this past year, and that's the Five of Cups, disappointment. Again, I'm going to say it may have happened more than once, sadly, and you ignored it because we were taught, well, you got to forgive, give them a second chance, don't be in a big rush to end things. And I say, when someone shows you their true nature, when someone, believe them, okay, believe them when someone shows you that side of themselves. And I know a lot of people this year who were really hurt by people they gave second, third, fourth, fifth chances to. And then the regret afterwards. Oh, I did it again. Oh, I did it again. Oh, did it again. I'm so stupid. Keep doing it. I keep letting them hurt me. Yes, you do. You keep letting them hurt you. Something you should be proud of, Libra. The Seven of Wands. That's competitiveness, which is great. Yes, it's strife, but it's competitiveness. It's getting in the game. And sometimes that is competitive. Competitiveness is good. Competition's good. Keeps you sharp. Now I'm going to say you got back out there, got back in the game. And again, cleared your name, cleared your plate. With this idea of starting off fresh and being ready to rock and roll, ready to move forward. Again, learning how to fight, what to stand up for yourself, what's worth fighting for, fighting to keep your name clear, fighting back. A lot of people count on us not fighting back. You can be too nice to fight back. You can be too nice to get your hands dirty. Don't be too dumb. I get my hands dirty just fine. As long as it's worth fighting for. Some things are worth fighting for. And everyone's got to make that decision up for themselves. All right, Libra. Be great, but good for you, Libra. Because Libra, here's the deal. Libra hates to fight. Libra does not like that. It's not nice. Libra likes to fight by putting on their shoes, grabbing their purse, and walking out the door. They don't like it. They don't like messiness. They don't like crass behavior. They don't like public displays of anger and crudeness. You want to turn a Virgo or a Libra off? Be crude in public. Eat badly at the table. Have bad manners. Use foul language. Embarrass them. Oh my God, embarrass a Libra in public. They will run out the door. And Virgos aren't too crazy about that either, by the way. All right. Of course, that's where Sagittarius and Aries and even Aquarius. And like, hold my beer. Let me show you how you embarrass somebody in public. I'll show you a scene. All right. Anyway, all right, Scorpio. Hey, all right. Scorpio. The cards represent me this past year. The King of Wands. All right, King of Wands, Queen of Wands. More on the business end of things. Starting a new business sometimes, King of Wands. Growing a business, growing your career, moving into a leadership position in your career, but still very well liked, very friendly. The King and Queen of Wands are really well liked and helpful and kind, often in the service industry, medical industry, something that has to do with helping people, because that's what the creative field. A soul lesson learning this past year, the Eight of Pentacles reversed. Getting paid for what you know, all right? Also, the importance of education. If you dropped out of school, you probably learned that, you're probably paying a price for that. If you didn't finish education, if you didn't take a job in the field that you went to school for it with, you might be regretting it a little bit now. But a sense of not being paid enough money, certainly for what you know, for what you do, that's right there. Possibly also being passed over for a promotion or raise because you don't have the education that you need to do the job. And how this soul lesson changed me? Well, the Knight of Pentacles reversed. What do we know about knights? They bring in the news, and they bring in the love. The Knight of Pentacles should be bringing in the money, but it's reversed. So money didn't come in that needed to come in, or maybe a salary adjustment that needed to happen didn't happen. Money didn't flow the way it was supposed to flow. Something that held me back this past year, the Ace of Cups reversed. Again, working in a field you don't love. Letting a lack of love, lack of passion. And it's hard to get to go to work every day in a job that you have no passion for. You don't like what you do. So here I'm seeing, Scorpio's attitude being right. And Scorpio usually does have a good attitude. You're paying me to work, I'm going to show up at work. They tend to be on time. They tend to be very, very ethical, very, very fair. Scorpio's not known for complaining, but it could have gone better. It could have, and it probably looks like you could have been further ahead. One soul lesson is you could have been further ahead in your career had you made some different changes, maybe gone a different direction there. And there is some reflection on that right now. Something that I ignored this past year, and that's the King of Cups. I'm going to say that if the King of Wands is about climbing to the top of a creative career or helpful career, service-oriented career, the King of Cups is all about emotions, is all about spirituality. And so what you may have done with all this focus on work and money and training and is you ignored your spiritual side. You ignored spiritual pursuits, and ignored that side of that, feeding that part of your soul, and not unlike past reading about the importance of you got to go to work, you got to pay the bills, someone's got to keep things flowing. But a lot of frustration here, doing a job you don't love, maybe, or not being paid enough money for the time, the years of the knowledge. I did a reading earlier, and it's someone who was working on a per diem wouldn't get hired on full time, but had, you know, years of experience. And then there's these young kids are working, making twice the money and doing half the work and not showing up. And here I am showing up, and they won't give me a full-time job. That's what I'm talking about here. I show up, I do my job, I run circles around these kids. They're making more money than I am, and I'm getting no respect. Okay? And ignoring your spiritual part, ignoring your anything you really find joy in. Something that you should be proud of. This is the double-edged sword here, but it's the Hangman reverse. And the Hangman reverse is not usually a very positive card, because it speaks to being a martyr. It speaks to being taken advantage of, the doormat. It also speaks to efforts not being appreciated. That's the Hangman reversed. And you know, it's one of my old deck was Christ on the cross was the Hangman, and that's just the opposite. You know, upright. The Hangman is delayed gratification, putting other people first, looking at the big picture, looking at the good of the collective, you know, doing for the good of the collective. But in this case, it's the collective doesn't appreciate you, and your efforts aren't being appreciated, and are you delaying the inevitable? But I don't think so. Proud of the fact that you know, you didn't bail on it is the other thing, is what I'm saying. You know, you didn't behave irresponsibly. Even when you weren't being appreciated, you weren't irresponsible. You hung in there. That is hard. You know, one thing I always say, I am validated every day in my job, every single day. Someone writes a wonderful review, or I get a phone call, or I get cards. When I do my readings, I do my phone readings. A lot of times I'll say, just send me $20 in the mail. But people write notes, or people call me. They called me today. Hey, something you told me 2 years ago. Told me to be patient. It's paid off. Here I am. So, I mean, I get these wonderful, and people who come into my shop are coming because they want to be in my shop. I don't advertise. They're here because they want to be here. I get to preach to the choir all day long. No one's got a better job than me. I love it. I get to watch people succeed. I get to be there when, you know, people that I've watched for 12 and a half years. I've watched kids go through middle school, high school, my own kids, you know, getting married, buying homes, being there to see it, like part of your family, part of a community. I love every second of what I do. And so this thing for Scorpio, you know, it's easy for me to show up every day. Literally, I live above my store, so it is easy for me to show up, but it's also easy because I love what I'm doing. But to show up when you don't love what you're doing, to show up when no one's appreciating your efforts, to show up when nobody is like, you know, clapping, no one is saying, hey, there you go, look at you, you're amazing. And you know, when you just deal with shit in a job you don't like, yeah, you should be proud of that. You should be. You're not a dumbass. There's a part, I'm seeing the Scorpios out there saying that, yeah, I'm a dumbass. No, you're not. No, you're not. You're responsible. You're too responsible to let your emotions get the best of you. And you know, 2020, we'll see how 2020 ends up, huh? All right. Scorpio. Sagittarius. Let me see what's going on here. Anybody else? Hey, Sean. Kimberly. Oh gosh, Libra. Good for you, Kimberly. Yep. Welcome, Lisa. Hey, Patty. Hey, guys. Good for you, Amanda. Amanda, excuse me. Yep, you gotta fight. Deborah, you're like the sweetest person. Scorpio. Rapid, okay. Lisa. Right. So Scorpio, Scorpio, excuse me, Sagittarius. Here we go. Card to represent me this past year, 3 of Swords reversed, and that's anxiety. Usually it's heart anxiety, so it's an emotional anxiety. Soul lesson that you learned this past year, the 9 of Swords reversed. To get past mourning, to get past regret, to get past disappointment. I mean, that was a big lesson this year. How you get back up. How this soul lesson changed me, the 2 of Wands reversed. You gotta do it on your own. You know, the 2 of Wands upright is that job that lands in your lap. You know, hey, I need someone, can you come work for me? Or, hey, I heard good things, they're hiring, put application, I'll put a good word for you. But when it's reversed, ain't nobody helping you but yourself. I always tell when this comes up, like looking for a job, yep, and no one's gonna help you with this. You're going to go pound the pavement, knock on some doors, make some phone calls. No one's gonna help out. There's no professional or friendly, it's just you gotta take care of this yourself. Something that helped me back this past year, and that's the Knight of Wands. Now, Knights bring in creativity. Knights bring in energy. But I'm also going to say possibly Sag, and something Sag can be guilty of is running around not looking at the things like the pentacles and what's solid and real. A lot of creative talk, a lot of creative energy, but what got done? And maybe too, people coming in and saying, "I'll help you with that. Let me, let's start a new project together." And then they're gone and you're holding the project. And I saw that people have this happen to them. A couple of Aries I know I've had that happen to them. We'll all work together, and then you turn around like, okay, well here we need to do, and they're no one. Where'd everybody go? Where'd you go? I'm holding the pot here. Yeah. So again, pie in the sky. The lovely words, creative words. What it makes me think of when I worked for mental health, when I worked at social workers and working in committees with social workers. Oh my God, everyone talking about their feelings. Everyone talking about their feelings. And I was trying to, for my boss, put together data to present to the board. and they all want to talk about feelings. And it's just like, hey, I don't really care how you feel. I need to know your numbers. Like, when you talk like that, I feel like I can't really trust. I'm like, just give me the goddamn numbers. They're meeting tonight. Yeah. So that frustration, I'm going to say, maybe is that held you back. A lot of big plans that no one really helped you, again, because you were doing it on your own. Something I ignored this past year, the King of Swords reversed. Well, the King of Swords upright, plain spoken, is very clear, almost military based thinking. King of Swords upright, but the King of Swords reversed. Now that can be a bully, that can be someone who's mean with their words, but it's also someone who's not honest with their words. King of Swords reversed can be someone who's passive aggressive, someone who then goes silent on you. Yeah. I'm going to say ignoring the nonverbal signs. Everyone gets the verbal cues, but ignoring nonverbal cues. Now, sometimes what people People say one thing, but they always say, don't tell me you love me, show me you love me, okay? Nonverbal cues. I don't care what you say. Words are cheap. Moving into what you should be proud of, and that is the Three of Cups reversed. Now, again, just like Scorpio, how can you be proud of the fact that you didn't celebrate? That's the card. You know, the Three of Cups is celebration. You know, everyone's together having a party. It's reversed. You didn't party, you didn't celebrate. Well, there's a couple things with that. One is, I want to say if you're a recovering alcoholic, you should be proud of the fact that you didn't celebrate, given all of this happening, the anxiety, the stress, I'm on my own, I'm all alone, no one's helping me. People say they'll help me, they don't show up to work, they don't show up to help me. But you didn't indulge. I'm going to say kudos for everyone that didn't pick up a bottle. Good for you. I'm also going to say not celebrating. There's also something that I think annoys all of us when people post, oh God, what I call conspicuous consumption. It can be really annoying. It bothers me. I don't, you know, ode to my wealth. I know people who, you know, it's just sickening. Okay. Thing after thing after thing after thing, when you're like, okay, great, we get it. You got a lot of money. We get it. You went on a really nice trip again. Ooh, 5th trip this year. Nice. You want to be happy for people, but at the same time, okay, tone it down a little bit. You know, it used to be the difference between a Christmas letter and a Christmas brag sheet. You know, right? Here's all our accomplishments listed. If that's all Facebook is or social media is you listing all your amazing accomplishments without taking any interest in the suffering or human people around you, that's something wrong with that too. So sometimes less is more, and discretion is a little better, right? It gets sickening. You have a little less what you got and have a little more what you did to help other people. That's always cool to hear. So I never get sick of hearing people tell me about the river cleanup or about the animals they fostered or took in. I never get sick of hearing about that. So yeah, I'm going to say with Sagittarius, this idea of possibly not gloating, not rubbing people's faces in it, this idea of or even, yeah, not taking pleasure in the failures of others too. This idea of just not putting it out there, you know, for better or for worse, not putting it out there, not being consumable, not being part of public fare, public consumption, and there's something to be said about that too. So I'm going to say something probably is discretion, Sagittarius, and something you're not known for, Sag. You know, you're really not. It really is more of a Sag is more hold my beer. Let me show you how to embarrass someone in public. Let me show you how to make a scene. You know, Sag is go big or go home usually. So Sag, if you went through all this shit, and look at you really did go through it, the anxiety, the sense of being alone, the sense of not getting helped. You know what? It's something we said for licking your wounds in private. And not indulging, not being self-destructive, not yeah, okay. Sag. All right, Sagittarius goes into Capricorn. Capricorn. Okay. Look at some comments here. Got the last 3 to do. What are you doing here? Oops. Hey, Maria. I'm always nice. 20 years sober, good for you. Good for you. Hey, Christine. Okay, Capricorn. Ready? card to represent me this past year, the Nine of Pentacles reversed. Nine of Pentacles reversed is usually not getting the financial respect that's due you. Not the harvest that you should be expecting based on the work you put in. It's reversed. Okay. So you put a lot of work in and maybe financially came up short this year. You know. And I gotta tell you, I've heard that in a lot of my readings coming into end of year bonus time, where bonuses were promised all year long. And now that it's almost the end of the year, it's like, oh, the company didn't do as good as we thought. Oh, yeah, okay. People are like, do you think I'm gonna get my bonus? Do you think I'm gonna get it? Like, okay. A soul lesson I was learning this past year for Capricorn is the Five of Pentacles reversed. And that is coming up out of the financial bottom of the pit. It really is, because the Five of Pentacles upright is bankruptcy, is financial failure. We all know that card. It's the widow and her orphan child, and in the cold outside of sanctuary, outside the church there, cold and a crippled child and blah blah blah. But it's reversed. It's coming out of that. Okay, coming back from bankruptcy, coming back from financial failure. That's the soul lesson. That's a Capricorn soul lesson, if there was one. How this soul lesson changed me, the star. What did it teach you? Taught you how to hope, how to have faith. That's the star. Hope and faith. Right? If the sun is success, the star is hope. And it taught you how to not lose hope. Something that held you back this past year, the Three of Wands. You know, Three of Wands is actually a very positive card. It speaks to searching the horizon, new creative opportunities, getting ready for new opportunities. That's the card of new opportunities, new creative opportunities. Why would that hold you back? Not different than Sagittarius, actually. If in fact they weren't based in you getting paid for them, okay? Did you take on work that was, we're gonna let you go ahead and try this out, we're gonna let you see how you can do this, or we're gonna let you see, and then it winds up being something you just do. It gets added onto your responsibilities. We're gonna see. We're not sure you can talk about passive aggressive bullshit. And again, why men do better in business. This is a man thing. Let's see if you can do this. You know, it's something new. We're not sure you can. Well, you're going to show them you can, right? No, God, give that challenge to a Capricorn. Of course I'm going to show you I can do it. I'm going to do the hell out of it. You know? The problem is, Capricorn, did you take that on? And this wouldn't be very Capricorn-like of you, but did you take that on without finding out when you get paid for it, or if you'd get paid for it at all? Or was it just an added bonus that you went on Saturdays and did extra work for? Okay, that would hold you back, especially if it wasn't something that would be add on to your resume. It's one thing to do something volunteer to help out. I'm all for that, right? But at least it should be something you can put on your resume as a skill you learned, something you bring to the table when you're negotiating a new job. And I'm going to say that Capricorn might have lost sight of that, which is weird for Capricorn, but not infallible. Something I ignored this past year. Capricorn, it's the Lovers reversed. Did you forget about love? Did you not make time for love? Did you lose sight of that part of you when you were so busy, again, with all of this that was going on? And God knows, jack of all trades, master of none. You can't be, you know, spending all your time thinking about who you're going to be dating if you're trying to pull yourself out of a financial abyss. You know, this is a lot. So it may have been you didn't have time. You ignored love. You didn't have time for it. If you said that out loud for any reason, just say you're sorry to Aphrodite, because that's a big insult to a goddess that you never want to insult. Don't insult her like that. All acts of love are her worship. So Aphrodite, Venus, if in fact you said I have no time for love, or I don't want love, oh, God forbid, that is like spitting in her face. So throw a pink rose or a red rose into a river or a body of water and just say, I didn't mean it. I do love love. I do want love. I do respect love. Okay? Just do that. You don't want to cut out, you don't want to shut that door, honey. And something you should be proud of. The Chariot, moving forward. Didn't stop. You didn't stop. Nothing stopped you. You were unstoppable. Full speed ahead. Man, Capricorn and Leo, two signs that this year you guys should write a book. I survived 2019 and I owned that bitch. That you two signs did amazing. Most Leos, despite being hurt, despite failures, despite divorce, despite breakups, despite so many bad job losses. I mean, but yet, man, you guys resurrected like the phoenix. Virgo too. Another sign that didn't take no for an answer. Okay? All right. Capricorn. Aquarius. Aquarians were very worrisome early in the year. A lot of readings with Aquarius, and they're not a sign that I see a lot in the reading room. Okay, Aquarius, what card represented you this past year? The Two of Pentacles, juggling money, right? Juggling money. Now, I always say, it means you got money to juggle, right? Maybe robbing Peter to pay Paul, but everyone's getting paid eventually, right? That's good. A soul lesson that we were learning this past year for Aquarius is the Six of Swords. And that speaks to journeys, long journeys. Now, normally it's a physical long journey or a transfer, travel over a body of water. But the Six of Swords can also be a travel of the mind. But it represents big travel of the mind, astral projection. It can be a card of, I don't usually think of it as a card of going home. It's definitely a card of leaving. It's a card of leaving a place of comfort. It's a card of going into the unknown. Soul lesson for Aquarius. But a journey, if it's a journey of the mind, it's a big journey. If it's transfer, it's a big transfer. It's a trip. It's a okay. You can get it. You get it. I'm getting tired. Anyways, how this soul lesson changed me. The Eight of Wands reversed. So the Eight of Wands upright is sudden, quick decisions, and the Eight of Wands reversed is in fact delays. So I'm going to say, you think of overthinking. And Aquarius is a very cerebral, is the beautiful mind people. That's how I refer to Aquarius, the beautiful mind people. Overthinking maybe. Something about expanding yourself past the situation you're in. Literally getting off the hamster wheel and looking at the bigger picture. The Six of Swords is definitely a bigger picture card. And again, that's delay. Delay while you see your place in the bigger picture. Something that held you back this past year, the Knight of Cups. Now, the Knight of Cups brings in love. It can also bring in indulgence. It can bring in, I don't want to insult Aphrodite either, but the Knight of Cups brings in love. How that can hold you back? Well, ain't nothing dumber than somebody in love, honey. It's a special kind of stupid when you're in love. And you can make some dumb mistakes when you're in love. I'm going to say in this case, and only because I'm looking at the cards ahead of it, love might have held you back because you may have been blinded by love. Even as you're expanding and you're delaying, here you have love, and it's like looking at the big picture. Why do I say what I say? Because something I ignored this past year is the Ten of Wands reversed. What's the Ten of Wands reversed? Well, the Ten of Wands upright is pressure, but it's reversed. It is the straw that broke the camel's back. And you had signs coming up, and you ignored them. And I'm going to say it's emotional, very emotional stuff, which is not Aquarius' strong point. They are a cerebral air sign. Give them creativity, give them philosophy, give them astral projection, give aliens. Give them brain surgery. Give them rocket science. They ace calculus. God, I don't know any Aquarians aren't good in math. And yeah, I know you're out there, but for the sake of my argument, let me be right this 1 second. You guys really deal in that sort of calculus brain sort of way. Beautiful mind people, I'm telling you. So you get Aquarius in love, you just jacked them all up, okay? They don't know what to do with that. And they usually handle it very badly, just for the record. You know, when that whole fall in love stuff, they don't go down the rabbit hole very well. So something they ignored this year again, let's try to book the camel's back. Something to be proud of, and that's the 7 of Cups. Now the 7 of Cups is a card of inebriation. Card of it's inebriation. It's head in the clouds. It's so I'm gonna say Aquarius, maybe you were that out of character this year. Maybe you when I say inebriation, I mean I'm literally head in the clouds, not thinking clearly. That Knight of Cups, and maybe for Aquarius, love and being in love slowed you down. I don't know, real reined you in. I'm gonna hope Aquarius you had some fun this year. How's that? I'm gonna hope this means you had fun. That for once you let yourself go, because Aquarius is not known for wanting. They are the pinnacle of autonomy. You know, where Pisces is all about the collective consciousness, Aquarius is about the creative self, the individual. Humanitarian efforts, absolutely, but every person, you know, as an individual. And Aquarians hate to lose their individuality, their uniqueness. They like being weirdos. You tell them that Aquarius is the weirdo of the zodiac, they're like, damn right we are. We love that. We are unique. So when they fall in love, and all of a sudden they're thinking of another person and all kinds of scenarios, and how can I be with them, and how can I be with them more and spend more time with them, and the googly love shit that they are so uncomfortable with usually. But good for you, Aquarius, if you did that. Good for you if you stopped and you entertained that, because that's not like you, and maybe that's what you needed this year. So we all needed this year. I don't know, but certainly you did, and the cards are saying you should be proud of that. If you let yourself fall in love, even if you made an ass of yourself, at least you fell. You jumped in the deep end of the pool. How's that, Aquarius? Sometimes you do a magnificent swan dive, and sometimes you do a cannonball, and sometimes you do a horrible belly flop. Regardless, you jumped. Okay, Pisces. Pisces. What card represent you this past year? The 6 of Cups reversed. Unhappy at home? Possibly a little bit living in the past. Trying to escape your past, maybe, Pisces. Spending a lot of time looking at the past. Okay. A lot of reflection. Okay. Soul lesson to learn at this past year is the 4 of Swords reversed. Well, you spend time thinking about the past, you're not gonna get much rest, are you? Learning how to you're letting it go. I'm gonna say you learning how to let things go. Let the past be in the past. Stop picking at it like a wound. You know, move on, move forward. How this soul lesson changed me? The Hierophant. There you go. Conventional thinking. The Hierophant. I always think of Saturn. I think of Capricorn, because the Hierophant is that institutions and I'm going to say to get your head in the game, basically, to get yourself out of the past and move forward into the game. Get in the game. The Hierophant. And why I say that is something that held you back. The Ten of Pentacles. Focus on money, on home, on work, and ignoring this. I'm trying to read these cards because they're crazy. They're something I ignored this past year. The Ten of Swords reversed. You know, I'm gonna say, and it's interesting because I said this about myself earlier, that I spent last week going over every mistake I made over and every failure, every bit of wasted time, everyone I trusted that I shouldn't have trusted, when I went left when I should have gone right. And that's, maybe I'm not the only Pisces, I am a Pisces, that dealt with that restless sort of, I can't relax, I can't get past this. You know, get your head in the game. That's the soul lesson. The past be in the past. Look at, we've got to check the rearview mirror sometimes. And we do got to see how far, you can't gauge how far you've gone if you don't look back every now and then and say, oh, look at that, how far away that is now. But if you're going to keep driving backwards to look at it, well, now you're never going to go anywhere. But ignoring how many times you pulled yourself out of the wreckage. The Ten of Swords reversed is the phoenix resurrecting out of the fire. How many times have you done it, Pisces? How many times have you pulled yourself up out of nothing and resurrected? I'm going to say every Pisces I know has done it several, at least. And something to be proud of is the Four of Pentacles reversed. And that's, still being willing to share. Still, despite failures, despite thinking of all the times, again, people weren't fair with you, thinking of all the times that, mistakes you made, but still being willing to share, still being ethical, not letting people's hurtful behavior change your stance. You stay in your lane, not letting it drag you down. Coming back up for air, fighting your way out of it. If in fact these cards speak to depression, anxiety, any kind of mental disorder, again, pulling yourself back out of the cloud, out of the fog, out of the cloud, and still being willing to be kind to the people, still being willing to say, listen, maybe people are always fair to me, but I can be fair, I can be ethical, the Hierophant, despite the fact that hasn't been shown to me all the time, and I can still share what I have. So I'm going to say for Pisces, it really is just being a Pisces. But again, the idea of Pisces of really let the past go sometimes. It's really never fun. It's like a horrible, God, what do they call those things when you get back together? Reunion. It's like, it's just, it can be depressing. And it is depressing, actually. Who died, who's sick, who's got cancer, who's divorced like 5 times. It's not fun. And so don't live there. Don't live in the world of reunions and reminiscing and the past. Move forward. And I'm going to say for Pisces, it's the fact that even when you reflect on all that, you because Pisces, the shadow Pisces can be a martyr. Pisces in general can martyr themselves. They nail themselves on the goddamn cross. It's not pretty. And so the Jesus complex thing, that can happen too. You got to really guard against that. But yet at the same time, being kind and being sharing and all that good shit. All right, guys, hope you enjoyed that. Man, get ready for this year coming up. It's an election year. It's gonna be nuts. It's gonna be nuts. It's the best time to keep your head straight, stay in your lane, mind your business. Be kind when the opportunity presents itself. Someone asks to a couple dollars to get on the bus, God, give them $5 if you got it. You know, be on the lookout for people who are suffering, who don't have enough, and give a little extra. And more, you know, what I'm doing is I'm doing that rather than giving to, well, I'm sorry, I don't like the Red Cross. I am adamantly opposed to the Red Cross. Still from Haiti. Anyways, and all the other stuff they've done. But more and more, if I have an extra $5, $10, $15 to give, I'm gonna give it to somebody that I know needs it to pay a bill, buy some food, and maybe that's something else to think about, is how you can share and give. All right, because we're gonna need help. Everyone's gonna need help this coming year, and our humanity and our kindness to others and our ability to look past our own pain and suffering and recognize other people are in pain too. That's going to be called into action. Be the best kind of people we can be, the kindest kind of people we can be, without being doormats, without being patsies, without being played. And that's where your empathy comes in. And that's where, when you get that sense you shouldn't trust somebody, then don't trust them. It's okay to say, you know what, I just didn't like the vibe on that person. You can smile, you can be nice, you can talk bad about the person, you know, but get the hell away. Get the hell away. Right? There you go. So have a great night. I'll see you next year. Bye, guys. Behave.